Okay, this is this machine here, this AHP. I'll show you how to set your machine more or less, right? And when you go to put the root pass, you set it up to where you only mess with this dial really. You see, you leave it around. I like it around 79 because this machine burns hot. Remember, every machine burns different, so around 80 or 85 is good to put in a root pass. And I have the coupon here set up. So in school, they will teach you in school to use a 3/32 gap to put in a root pass. But the best thing to do is to use a 1/8 gap. The reason is, when you go to start welding in the field, a 3/32 gap is not realistic. It's not, you don't have the same fitters all the time, and a 1/8 gap helps you more because if your pipe opens up in the field, you have more experience to be able to close it up. I'll put in the tacks and show you what they look like. Okay, so I put my tacks in. So you see right here, these came out pretty good, but this one here, even at 79 the machine was still too hot, so I had to lower it down to 66. So I'll go ahead and put the root pass and I'll show you how it came out. So when you put in the root pass, right, you start here, you always start in front and you keep going, and then you break in here, and then you go forward, you come back down. It's like you make like a circle, like a teardrop. Then you go back, then you come back down, and like a teardrop. And when you're putting your root pass here, you push in a good bit because gravity is working against you. Once you get to this point, don't keep pushing in too much, because what it does is, once you push in, all your root pass falls in. So you just keep it right by the bevel, and gravity is gonna just pull it down by itself. Alright? Okay, so that's the root pass there. It came out pretty good. A little heavy right here, but that was from the first tack. I'm gonna go ahead and clean it up. So one thing you need to know, right, is whenever you put a root pass, if you see the outside looking like this, you know you did a good job already. Look, this. See that? If you see your root pass look like that, you know you have a good root pass. So now you start here with the 70/18 and you move up. But what I was explaining to you is, when you start here, you keep the rod at a 90-degree angle always. And as you start coming around, don't leave the welding rod like this. Don't start welding and coming up like this, You change your angle. As you go up, you change your angle. You keep going up, you keep changing your angle. And when you go up, you're facing down or almost a little more slanted to the other side. And what that does is, it pushes the slag back instead of in front of the welding rod, and you don't trap slag when you weld. And don't keep the heat right in the middle. Anytime you keep the heat in the middle, you burn through. Try to keep it more in the side, and let it flow to the middle. It's gonna just flow by itself. Okay? Okay, so now this is your hot pass. You see how it looks? Nice and flush. You cleaned it out. It's all grounded or grinded, whatever you have. Look at this side here. Same thing. Always make sure you clean really good. And what I do is, after I clean with a wire wheel, I take this 1/8 grinding disc or cutting disc, and I make a little line to clean the edges. The reason why is, these edges is where you trap most of the slag. So if you don't clean those edges good, it's gonna stay right there. And some projects allow you to use 1/8 or that 16 cutting wheel. Some don't. It's like they're scared of everything in the damn industry now. So just go ahead and do that as much as you can. Okay, so that's the filler pass, and I have one more pass to go. Is a cap. You see how that look? Nice and smooth. Is the top of it on this side. It's hard to see that. Okay, yeah, that's a little better. Okay, so this is a cap, and this is what you're looking for. Whenever you put a cap, you don't want to see any tie-in on it. You want it to look really smooth. You want the top to look like that. You clean your sides. When you clean it with the file, do not dig the file on it like that. Do it like this. Because if you do it like this, what it does is when you shoot x-ray, it's going to show up like undercut. So you see that? This is the other side. Look, the same thing on this side. It looks like I never had, it looks like I just took one welding rod and came all the way up. But I did it about, I took about 2 or 3 welding rods. But you see how smooth it looks? You can't even tell where I tied in. Look. Now when you come here in the bottom, look at the bottom. Look at my tie-in in the bottom. You see that? It looks like, boy, I can't see it good. Okay, there. So the tie-in, it looked like one welding bead also, one welding rod. It looks really good. And that's what you're looking for. Whenever you start welding, you want to take your time, do a good job, take pride in your work, and you'll always be working. People will always look for you because they know you do a good job.